Cotton Candy by Edward Hirsch. We walked on the bridge over the Chicago River for what turned out to be the last time, and I ate cotton candy, that sugary air, that sweet blue light spun out of nothingness. It was just a moment really, nothing more, but I remember marveling at the sturdy cables of the bridge that held us up and threading my fingers through the long and slender fingers of my grandfather, an old man from the old world who long ago disappeared into the nether regions. And I remember that 8-year-old boy who had tasted the sweetness of the air, which still clings to my mouth and disappears when I breathe.
Spring Rain by Sarah Teasdale. I thought I had forgotten, but it all came back again, tonight with the first spring thunder, in a rush of rain. I remembered a darkened doorway where we stood while the storm swept by, thunder gripping the earth and lightning scrawled on the sky. The passing motor buses swayed, for the street was a river of rain, lashed into little golden waves in the lamplight's stain. With the wild spring rain and thunder, my heart was wild and gay. Your eyes said more to me that night than your lips would ever say. I thought I had forgotten, but it all came back again, tonight with the first spring thunder, in a rush of rain.
I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high over vales and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils, beside the lake, beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze, continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way. They stretched a never-ending line along the margin of a bay. 10,000 I saw at a glance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance. The waves beside them danced, but they outdid the sparkling waves in glee. A poet could not be gay in such a jocund company. I gazed and gazed, but little thought what wealth the show to me had brought. For oft when on my couch I lie, in vacant or in pensive mood, they flash upon that inward eye, which is the bliss of solitude. And then my heart with pleasure fills, and dances with the daffodils.
Untitled Poem by Rumi. And this is love, the vertigo of heaven, beyond the cage of words, suddenly to be naked in the searchlight. Of truth, no shade, no leave for the senses. You are a victim. Love's felony pillages your breath, knocks away your feet, makes you blind with insight, so that you may clearly see for yourself. Congratulate your heart whilst you can, for it has clambered into the inner chamber of circling lovers. Now it sees with uncluttered eye and rashly enters the rough neighborhoods of loving breaths. What is the origin of your energy, O heart? Where is the drastic home of your pulse? Birds may sing their busy language, I shall hear them with the lover's newfound ear. The heart complains, I was in travail. As the body was burned, I fled the workshop, even as it was being made. When I was exhausted, beaten down, I was dragged through madness beyond description, torn apart beyond the good sense of sounds.
The Fourth Dance Poem by Gerald. The white lady has asked me to dance. She had been lurking under the bridge I had to cross to go anywhere. I've considered my answer, and since I've stopped denying it, she knows I have natural rhythm. So will she believe I don't know this dance? Why dance we not? Why stand we still? She's seen the white feather I wear in my cap like a plume, and doubts my honesty. But I say to her anyway, ah, white lady, but I don't know this dance. She hasn't believed me. They flee from me that sometime did me seek. Oh, white lady, now you've said it. For me it was a long walk from Alabama, and I was on my way anywhere.
O Captain, My Captain by Walt Whitman. O Captain, my Captain, our fearful trip is done. The ship has weathered every wreck, the prize we sought is won. The port is near, the bells I hear, the people all exulting, while follow lies the steady keel, the vessel grim and daring. But O heart, 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 O the bleeding drops of red, where on the deck my captain lies, fallen cold and dead. O Captain, my Captain, rise up and hear the bells, rise up, for the flag is flung, for you the bugle trills. For you banquets and ribboned wreaths, for you the shores are crowding, For you they call the swaying masses, their eager faces turning. Here, Captain, dear father, this arm beneath your head. It is some dream that on the deck you've fallen cold and dead. My captain does not answer, his lips are pale and still. My father does not feel my arms, he has no pulse or will. The ship is anchored safe and sound, its voyage closed and done. From fearful trip the victor ship comes in with object won. But I, with mournful tread, exult O shores and ring. O bells walk the deck, my captain lies, fallen cold and dead.
Roads Go Ever Ever On by J.R.R. Tolkien. Roads go ever, ever on, o'er rock and under tree, by caves where never sun has shone, by streams that never find the sea, over snow by winter sown, and through the merry flowers of June, over grass and over stone, and under mountains in the moon. Roads go ever, ever on, under cloud and under star, yet feet that wandering have gone, turn at last to home afar. Eyes that fire and sword have seen, and horror in halls of stone, look at last on meadows greens, and trees and hills they long have known.
Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening by Robert Frost. Whose woods these are I think I know, his house is in the village though, he will not see me stopping here, to watch his woods fill up with snow. My little horse must think it queer, to stop without a farmhouse near, between the woods and frozen lake, the darkest evening of the year. He gives his harness bells a shake, to ask if there is some mistake. The only other sounds a sweep of easy wind and downy flake. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep.
Have a Nice Day by Spike Milligan. Help, help, said a man, I'm drowning. Hang on, said a man from the shore. Help, help, said the man, I'm not clowning. Yes, I know, I heard you before. Be patient, dear man who is drowning. You see, I've got a disease. I'm waiting for Dr. J. Browning, so do be patient, please. How long, said the man who is drowning, will it take for the doctor to arrive? Not very long, said the man with the disease. Till then, try staying alive. Very well, said the man who was drowning, I'll try and stay afloat, by reciting the poems of Browning and other things he wrote. Help, help, said the man with the disease, I suddenly feel quite ill. Keep calm, said the man who was drowning, breathe deeply and lie quite still. Oh dear, said the man with the awful disease, I think I am going to die. Farewell, said the man who was drowning, said the man with the disease, goodbye. So the man who was drowning drowned, and the man with the disease passed away, but apart from that and a fire in my flat, it's been a very nice day.
OCD and What Used to Be Me by A. Rose. OCD and then there's me, the shades of one who once was free. You feel its grip as it perverts, horrifies, and then it hurts. It strips you of your very self, does rob you of your mental health. As every instinct turns to dust, from loving to loathing, indifference to lust. What remains are the shadows of intent and will. They disperse in the scope of a mind that's not still. In the grips and despairs of this tormented place, you will know the extent of the damage we face. You will know what is lost, what's recovered and dead. We rely on our hearts as we can't trust our head. It reflects an intention we never conceived, develops perspectives we never believed. So what do you embody when so much has changed? When one's natures and virtues distorted and shamed? What makes one alive when so much is dead? How can someone seek heaven with the hell in their head?
Freedom from Terror by Danny Draper. Conflict pollutes the soul of man, from nature's deepest struggles and ache, but all are born innocent, with the capacity but no knowledge of hate. All are born without religion, upon them it is sin imposed, and with each the mantle of prejudice that from every religion flows. The wisdom from all philosophies for powerless life is embraced by many, but rejected by others as error, following their one narrow literal to seek God's love, the seduction choice must rest with the individual always, to be guided in life by the freedom of heart and body and mind, to borrow and move upon the best thoughts of all time, and to live in peace without terror amongst mankind.
Acquainted with the Night by Robert Frost. I have been one acquainted with the night. I have walked out in rain, and back in rain. I have outwalked the furthest city light. I have looked down the saddest city lane. I have passed by the watchman on his beat, and dropped my eyes, unwilling to explain. I have stood still and stopped the sound of feet, when far away an uninterrupted cry came over houses from another street, but not to call me back or say goodbye. And further still, at an unearthly height, a luminary clock against the sky proclaimed the time was neither wrong nor right. I have been one acquainted with the night.
Invictus by William Ernest Henley. Out of the night that covers me, black as the pit from pole to pole, I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. In the fell clutch of circumstance, I have not winced nor cried aloud. Under the bludgeonings of chance, my head is bloody but unbowed. Beyond this place of wrath and tears looms but the horror of the shade, and yet the menace of the years finds and shall find me unafraid. It matters not how strait the gate, how charged with punishments the scroll. I am the master of my fate, I am the captain of my soul.
The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both. And be one traveler, long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other, just as fair, perhaps having the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear. Though as for that, the passing there had worn them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay, in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day. Yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference.